let's make like a quick intro and a simple question. Like, how are you? I can start. Um, like, I am super excited about what we are doing, about the result of the hatch voting. I think that there was a lot of participation, and I am really excited about all what is happening like in the TC and in the DAO ecosystem. Um, I also feel like a little bit tired. I feel that it's like a sprint and that we are working and that, yeah, we need to continue working, but sometimes it's like a lot of work. And even though that's like motivating and inspiring, sometimes I would like to have like more time to just be in my bed and a little bit tired. Yeah, and sometimes just say, hey, I don't want to like get into the internet or something. I just want to like be in my bed. Yeah, it's like, but I think it's normal. But then I just like I remember how good I feel here and what I'm doing, and yeah, I get motivated. But sometimes it's like you think that because you're going to be working in a DAO or in a decentralized organization, that is going to be like relaxing. But I think that this is as requiring and as demanding as a regular job. And yeah, uh, that's like how I feel. A little bit like a little bit tired, but motivated. And I will pass to Nate.
Yeah. What was the actual question again?
How are you?
I'm great. Really excited about everything. There's a lot of moving parts now, and it's going really well and getting a lot of work done. Really excited about doing these TEC case studies with Atta and Common Stack, and just evaluating the entire process from birth to where we are now. So it's really exciting to look into that, and I'm really excited about everything that's going on with Gravity and the Gravity survey, and excited to get that survey out to as many DAO communities as possible. So I will pass it to Livy.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm feeling really hungry right now, and I can't really think about anything else than this. This is kind of my temperature check, but yeah, feeling that also, that I wish I had a little bit more time in my hands, but also trying to do the best I can with everything happening, and feeling excited about all the progress and being so close to the hatch. And I'm traveling, so also enjoying New York for a little bit. But yeah, I think that's how I'm feeling. Sorry, I'm a bit blurry in my mind of hunger. But I will pass to Penguin.
I'm feeling pretty good, I guess. I got a push button mic that I didn't push, so a little bit pushy, I guess. But doing well. Just in lots of meetings. Thursday is a very busy day for me. Usually in meetings from 7 a.m. till 2 p.m. So I will pass it to Nate.
I will pass it to Zepti.
Thank you, Nate. Yeah, I'm feeling great. I feel with energy, and I'm super excited about meeting all of you that joined the Paris call, ACC. So yeah, super excited, and wish I see as many of you as I can. I'll pass it to Didan.
Yeah, thanks, Septi. Yeah, this past few months has been like pretty wild, and I feel just like, okay, I was just sort of like my hair flying back in the wind, and now I'm starting to feel like, okay, like I can stop like paying attention to my news feed like a hawk, and I can slow down a little bit and like ideally I shift some more of my energy towards the TC, but also some of my personal projects. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited about what's coming here. It's all too much everywhere all the time. So just doing what we can do. I'll pass it to Metaverde.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, the all too much all the time. I can certainly relate to that. I'm just kind of tired and sore right now. I did wrestling last night, and that's always hard. But happy the gravity's still going, and happy so many bees are so excited about it. I'm kind of surprised there's not people over here. It must be hard to get into our server. I don't know. I don't really have a lot, Juan. I'm tired. It's Thursday. It's a big meeting day, and it's the end of the week. I'll pass to, is it Sharing Gain? Or did I say that wrong? Carrying Gain? Sharing Gain?
Yeah, okay. Me too.
So
I don't know. I'm trying to pass it to somebody, but nobody's picking up. Are we done? Have we been around?
if Sharing Gain wants to speak, you can open your mic. We're just getting our intro. Like, how are you doing? You can present yourself if you want to, and if not, we can start with our topics. Okay. So I think that for today I prepared 3 topics. One is the distribution of the gravity survey that we have been working on it for some time, and yeah, this is the survey, and the idea behind it is that we can identify needs related to conflict management in decentralized organizations, and I am really happy that here we have people from both Metagame and OneHive, because it would be really good to like if we want to start making our first steps in gravity in those organizations. It would be really good also to map the initial needs that people in that organization see, like yeah, what are the mental models that they see that the organization promote? What are the mental models that they wish that the organization promotes? Like what are the main sources of conflict in that organization? What are the main feelings when conflict happen in that community? So it would be really good, yeah, to have this survey done for those at least having participation of some people from those communities, so that we can map, yeah, like what would be the best approach that gravity can do to help on their conflict management, because I feel that conflict management is not like one big thing that can be the same reproduced like copy paste in different communities, but it's like something that can be iterated and that has to be like adapted to each of the needs and to each of the cultural agreements that the organization has. So like I feel that instead of like copy and pasting gravity in our organizations, what we have to do is like to start planting that seed of gravity, and that each organization can then like adapt and take what they like from our value proposition, and maybe continue as they feel that it's better. Like, do you have easy access to tools for solving conflicts in your community? Does your access to conflict management process influence your sense of well-being? This is very important also for our research purposes, because we want to have like this big picture of what are the needs in our related communities, and to offer our service, and also to polish our tools, and to see like how can we improve and help other communities, because and I will jump to the second topic of the agenda, connecting with this idea, and is that we have been outreaching other communities, and we like have made connections with metagame during the MetaFest, but we haven't like promoted promoting the Graviton training. But for sure, for the second Graviton training, it would be really good if we can have like people from metagame to participate in the training, not only to be mediators, but because of that, the knowledge that we give in the training is good for like regular members of the organization to be mindful of nonviolent communication, of how to manage stressing situations, and how to be a good third part, or who are the people that are the conflict management agents in the community. So I feel that it would be good to have a lot of participation in that training, because that way it wouldn't seem like, okay, the TEC has its like conflict management agent over other communities, not like that, but instead of that, that we are helping other communities to improve their own conflict management mechanisms. And the idea is that the Gravitons of each community are members of each of their community, so that we can apply Ostrom principle that says like monitors are accountable to the appropriators, or are the appropriators themselves. So in this way, the monitors are the appropriators themselves, and we promote a participatory approach to addressing conflicts. And the update from Giveth is that tomorrow we will be having I will be participating in a communication call, because Giveth already has a conflict management strategy, but it's more based in conflict resolution. I will paste the link. Giveth conflict resolution. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, Giveth has already a conflict resolution system that is based in restorative justice circles. And the idea that I have been trying to promote is that we don't, if Giveth want to like promote or adapt gravity, it's not necessary to like start all over and erase this work that I think is very valuable. And instead of that, what I think is that we can like complement and help to implement this conflict management system that they have, that it's like very similar in some sense to the one we have in Gravity, because like alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, they can vary, but in the steps or in the methodology, but they are all based on dialogue and on facilitating the reaching of agreement between parts. So I feel that maybe they call here like initiation, pre-circling, circling, and post-circling. And in Gravity, we have our step-by-step that is like identification, screening, look for solutions, and post mediation. So it's like I feel that it's like similar, but they have like a different approach. And what I think that we can do is that we can also include the topic of restorative justice circles in the Graviton trainings, so that the Gravitons that the Gravitons from Giveth, or the Gravitons that want to say, okay, I want to apply restorative justice instead of like mediation, that we could like promote those different types of methodologies. And yeah, like in that way, like also I was seeing here in Giveth, and they have the system, and the system needs facilitators, but they don't have like a training system for that facilitators. So the idea that I think is that we are going to through the Graviton training, we are going to train those facilitators to follow this system that is already in place, and not like erasing it and starting from scratch. What do you think about this? I will paste this link in the document.
It makes sense to use the training that has already been done rather than trying to reinvent the wheel or have people figure it out or work through pain points that have already kind of been felt through. So I think it makes sense to use training and the tools that you guys have already been bringing to practice.
Thank you.
I feel the same way as Penguin does. It's kind of like, I don't think there's a perfect way to approach this conflict resolution, and I think facilitators are a really good idea. And I know that they use that kind of circle holacracy approach over at Giveth, and I think that's really good. But we do have our own system here, and I think that we've gone through a lot of trials and errors with it, and we've kind of felt out the problems that we've had, and keep moving forward with what we have and revising it as we go along.
Yeah, I think that it can be great. It would be great if we can then use the Graviton trainings to like train facilitators, but that then each organization can decide if they want to like copy the same conflict mechanism that we have, or if they want to like make their own, or if they already have one and they are just lacking facilitators. I feel that that's like the point, and maybe what we will do is to like add this component of restorative justice into the training, and yeah, that way we can train the Gravitons to implement the conflict resolution system in Giveth. And if they want to adapt other one, or if they want to like continue with the one we have. So yeah, that's like the approach that we will have, that we're having in Giveth. And the other thinking, and the other question that organizations should like ask themselves when they want to apply gravity is that we have a registry for the cases we manage, and we have a type form to receive the inputs of the cases and to identify the cases. So like if an organization is small, they could like use our type form and participate in our registry. But if an organization wants to like take conflict management seriously, and also if that organization wants like even an extra level of confidency, they can like make their own type form, and they can make their own registry. So yeah, we have this registry that can be used for several organizations, and can be used like for an initiation on conflict management to organizations.
So just for clarity, so this registry it's going to be a registry of all types of conflicts that occur, where organizations can submit it to the registry, and we kind of have like a comparative analysis of like what types of conflicts occur and how they were resolved?
Yes, but it's confidential. Like until this moment, only 3 people have access to that document, and like not all the input from the registry from the type form goes to the registry, because maybe there were 3 people who like signaled a problem through the type form, and we like summarize it in just one case in the registry. And the registry right now that we have been building has 8 cases. And we have had like 24 replies to the type form. So you see, also some replies to the type form are like tests and like people commenting. But yeah, if like 3 people report something, or even one, we can like then create a case, and that case goes to the registry, and the registry has associated like who is the graviton who is in charge of that case, which was the start date of the mediation process. We also have some forms that we attach to the registry, like we have observation forms where we like map the conflict, and we like try to build common ground or on how can we build agreements. So yeah, I am not showing the registry here because it's it's confidential.
Yep.
But and in that registry we have like cases not only from the TEC. We also have like in that gravity type form, in that gravity registry, we have a case from Ethereum Colombia. And it was like a case that we were having in our small community, and we said like, okay, let's apply gravity. And yeah, so we
So
have the,
where is this registry? Like, in what form is it held? Is it held in just like a document, or is it like an actual database?
it's a spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a spreadsheet, and yeah, it's only 3 Gravitons have access to it, because to protect personal information. And yeah, the idea is that that is like the first point of entry to the funnel of conflict management, and then we like identify the cases. We take that information from the type form, and we like say, okay, maybe these are the people that can be relevant to solving that issue. These are the stakeholders that are in place. And then we like approach to each of the parts, and in the observation form we like gather the information, and then if it's needed we promote a mediation. And I am working also to try to make like a form so that people can prepare their arguments for the mediation within the NVC framework, because I have seen that during the mediations sometimes like sparks like can ignite a fire again of a conflict. And if we help people to communicate through nonviolent communication, I am sure that we can avoid those sparks during the mediations and try to generate a safe and controlled space as possible.
And is this this approach kind of the long-term approach of utilizing the Gravitons and Gravity as a commons to provide conflict resolution as a service to other DAO communities?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so here you can see in this Gravity Easy step by step, you can see the forms, the Gravity observation form. And it's like, this form aims to help mapping conflicts by framing parties' versions of the story in the most impartial way possible. We want to foster non-adversarial positions and free of judgment descriptions of challenging situations to ease the finding of common points and possible solutions. Assessing facts, not judgment, equals non-adversarial stance. So here we like when we start, when there is a case that is like identified and we like talk to the people, we say, okay, we're going to assign X and Y graviton to this, and the responsibility of the graviton is to fill this, and then to say like, okay, these are the key points of mutual interest, these are the key points of mutual disagreement, so that we can prepare then the mediation. And the mediation has like this other form, but yeah, I think that there is a missing form that should be given to the parts so that they can like prepare their arguments in an NVC framework, because I feel that sometimes people is saying like, okay, I am sorry, but I don't know, and they say something that maybe sparks again to the other person, and then like all that we were building like gets destroyed. So we want to foster a very controlled and safe space for these mediations, and yeah, we need this preparation form, argumentation form, that I think that we can like make it like an easy guide of how to frame your needs, how to frame your feelings through NVC. I think that can be something done in next sessions.
We have a form for individuals who are involved in conflict to basically sign permission to participate in this kind of mitigation process, or mediation process, that it says, hey, I volunteer to participate in this, and making sure that all the participants available in this are cooperating with it.
Until the moment, we haven't made like a signature, but we have stated that this is a voluntary process. Like, if people don't want to talk, or if they don't want to dialogue, we're not going to like force anyone, and this is a process that they can go with as far as they want to. I mean, if someone like starts the process and then is not willing to dialogue anymore, like it's very difficult for us to like trying to impose something, because this is more something that builds from agreement than like imposes anything. So yeah, this goes as far as both parts are willing to dialogue and to try to build an agreement with this process.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And what would that look like from an organization's perspective, in terms of like, hey, we have a conflict, we have this resource of the Gravity Commons, or the Gravity Working Group, and we can say, hey, we're gonna propose this to our two individuals who are in conflict, or 2+ individuals who are in conflict, and ask them if they want to participate in the mediation process. Is that how it would work?
Yeah, or even like I feel that it can be like a cultural practice. I feel that everything that you start like reproducing, then it becomes like normal and natural. And I feel that maybe it should be something like when an organization tries to implement gravity or to adapt gravity, they can say like, okay, we are using this framework for conflict management, and when that organization like states that gives us legitimacy, because it's very hard to build legitimacy, but I feel that we can build it from the agreement, and from this voluntary compliance. That is something that we have read also in Ostrom's book, that when rules are good, you don't feel like bad following them. And if people say, okay, this is like our escape bulb, they ease that access to that community, to the community, that could like place the legitimacy on the people to go and to like try to follow with these processes.
Gotcha. That's really awesome.
Okay, and in One Hive, Meta Verde and Chewy have been talking in this forum about how can we like implement gravity in OneHive, and we have been like following the discussion, and it's super interesting because like the we want to keep growing gravity, and it would be great if we can help um, OneHive to have their own like conflict management agents. So we are talking about that, and it's like the advancements that we have had to our outreach process, but it's going good, and like my ideal would be that these communities that we're outreaching first, we can have some people filling the survey, and then like having some people participating in the gravity survey in the Graviton training. um, because I also feel that people want conflict management when there's a conflict, but there's more importance in preventing conflict. So I feel that when a lot of people is trained in nonviolent communication, in these negotiation skills, in trust building, then you can prevent a lot of problems. And I think that these are in these communities, there are things that we can help like as a third part, but also there are other things that only the community is the one that can take action into how to prevent or how to avoid these kind of situations from happening. So and if we promote people within that community with skills to do that, we foster that each organization is capable of managing the conflicts that they produce.
So, like, I don't know, maybe Meta Verde can speak to it, but is there already a culture of like, or behavioral norms surrounding conflict resolution within OneHive that have been practiced or not efficient enough?
A culture of conflict resolution in OneHive. What's the specific question about it?
Just like, do you have, if you have like, is there like an initial state, like how you deal with conflict right now that is not sufficient?
No, there's nothing official. I think people do really nicely. Like, I seem to be like the saltiest person there, to be honest. I think that people are just generally nice and respect each other, and just because that's how it's been going there, and we maintain a critical mass, that's how it continues to go. You know, like, I think Luke's a really strong voice in the cafe calls when people get a little bit head up. He'll just say, well, he doesn't think it's productive to go down that path and blah, 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 and we need to move forward. You know, I mean, but we haven't had like huge problems, just like things that are small enough that we can absorb them as a project, you know. And we tend to kind of, I don't know, because it's grown so much, but
they would be open to like a process like this, right?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I got way off track then. If that's what you're asking, there are a lot of people who are very interested in gravity that have asked me about it and asked about how to join the classes and stuff. Juan, haven't you got a lot of DMs from people at OneHive about it?
I haven't received DMs, but I am following the forum, and I feel that it's important just to have like just to provide that easy access of conflict management. Maybe like promoting the type form, or like or like maybe the type form our
I've thought about that. I've thought about that a few times with like one of the things that's ongoing, and that probably isn't a bad idea. Is Chewy in another call? He's not in here today. Okay.
But
we have things going on that could use gravity, but I just kind of am not necessarily sure on some of them that I want to go in that deep with it.
Yeah, no, I understand it's not to discuss. It's not to discuss the issue, because I think that should be made in another place. But more to say that yeah, that we are outreaching other organizations, and that what we want is that there is easy access to tools for like requesting support on conflicts for the members of their communities, because I feel that that's also something that psychologically affects the well-being of people. Like you feel well when you know that when something happens, you have someone to go to. Because if you don't have anyone to go to, something happens, and you just like you just like yeah have to swallow the thing with water. So yeah,
Yeah, is this next training, like you had said it would be after July before you would do another Graviton thing? Were you looking at doing it DAO by DAO, or doing training in the context of people taking the gravity training to their own DAO, or were we going to stay in the same format that we did last time?
I think it's gonna be a cohort, right? The cohort model.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have like a big training covering several communities. Like that's what I imagine. Like having like okay, at the end of the second training, we have 10 gravitons in one hive, we have 10 gravitons in Giveth, and we have 10 gravitons, I don't know, in other organizations, in metagame, I don't know. And with those 10 gravitons, like okay, they can, if they want to lead their own typeform and registry, okay, that would give them like certain autonomy on their gravity. But if not, we could like use them for agents to connect with gravity and work for like yeah, we also want to be seen, and this is a concept that it's very new for me, like a squad DAO, like yeah, an organization that helps and that aims to provide service to other decentralized organizations. So
like a
yeah,
task force.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Like
and so I don't mean to interrupt, Juan. I was gonna ask, since Penguin and some metagame people are here, I was gonna ask you guys' opinion on this as well.
Yeah, so I was waiting for a time to kind of chime in. So I think having people that are trained in nonviolent communication and de-escalating situations and like understanding is critical. But a lot of our like immediate disputes that have happened have been, kind of gross violations of like the terms. And I'm not sure that they're things that we would bring to like, the full kind of resolution, because the resolution is kind of termination, at least for the incidents that we've had. And these are things that like doxing are things that hard to come back from and borderline illegal. So that's mainly where we've seen a lot of really hard conflicts. But I think what you're saying about having people that the community knows that they can turn to, that are going to listen to them and not kind of cause extra stress or put blame on them, and will listen to conflict to help resolve it, is, you can't have trust without it.
yeah, I think it's amazing, and yeah, I think that I like to say conflict management and not like conflict resolution, because I think that there's like a slight difference. And I understand that when you say like resolution, it seems like yeah, it's solved and it's not gonna happen anything more. So that's why I like more like management. Like we manage a situation and then that becomes another thing. Maybe we can de-escalate it, or maybe we can yeah transform it into something different. I like to say that yeah, conflict transformation and conflict management is instead of conflict resolution. And I feel that maybe this long term like I feel that there can be this long term impact, that when people is like when we have like, if we have gravitons in metagame, they will not only like try to solve or help on these peer-to-peer problems, but they can also have like as a group the responsibility, I don't know, to like help with the building of rules and boundaries, or advise with things around voting mechanisms, or yeah, to serve like an advice process for implementation of of decisions, or I don't know. I think that creating this group of people with these skills can lead to other stages, and we are like first like only planting the seed, but maybe we can, and this is some other thing that I think that it could be good, that if we have like a group of gravitons in each organization, then we could have like communication between gravitons from organizations, and in that way we can help to promote like good relationships between DAOs, between two DAOs, like, or if a conflict arises, I don't know, between two DAOs, maybe it's not like everyone against everyone, but we then, like, the two organizations can say, okay, the two voices that are going to represent the organization in this conflict or in this joint venture are this and this, and they are going to be like accompanied by this and this graviton. Because
and I think the benefit of that is the data that we can get from it as well, like in terms of just like understanding better, what types of conflicts occur in different DAO communities, and find some commonalities and some prevention, and just have the Gravity Working Group providing this information for other communities to use on behalf of the Token Engineering Commons as a kind of a service, but.
There is this thing that I have been reading that is like joint ventures between DAOs to foster like DAO to DAO collaboration, and yeah, that could also be like a task that in which gravitons can help, because we not only like train on conflict management, but also in like negotiation skills. And yeah, if we are going to make a joint venture with DAOs, you are going to need like these negotiation skills, and maybe people that if an issue arises regarding the joint venture or within the understanding of the community, like they can like, yeah, be helpful on that situation. And I mean, also Gravity, I have helped in the TEC when we are having votings. We were talking that when people like proposed a proposal and their name wasn't it could be seen like a bias. Like it could influence on the voting of people to say like, oh, I will vote for Griff and I will not vote for Septimus or for Juan. So like I have posted the different proposals on my name, so to gather some kind of neutrality for the vote. So like they say, okay, I don't know who posted this. It's just like I am like a neutral figure in that scenario. So I feel that gravitons can play like a beneficial role on communities, and their tasks can be like adjusted to the need of each community. And I feel that there are a lot of things that we can continue developing from training people in these skills. And
I was thinking a lot about it, like with respect to the crud farmer thing and not being able to vaporize them. And that's just hyperbole. I would never vaporize anybody. That actually, even if you're going to push the person out of the community, not allow them to continue because of what they have done, that even so, having a gravity meeting with the person involved could be helpful, because even if it doesn't change how they behave right at that moment, it might make an inroad that grows, and it could actually change the person. It also gives us the opportunity to at least attempt to educate somebody about the effect they're having on the community, and it gives the community the opportunity to share that when that when people are cred farming, it feels like we're being stolen from, and it's not even, I mean, it's not even just like the cred that they're getting, it's that they're in there and they're like pretending to care about stuff sometimes just so they can get likes, right? It's just like, don't waste my time if you're not here to help make this a better place. But if we have the opportunity to talk to people when they're doing that before they leave, I mean, like my initial response is just block them, but actually having that communication with them might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, I think that there is a lot to do there, because we need to know like what are the needs of the people who is like doing that. If they need money, or if they just want to troll, and also if we can like turn around the table and maybe give an opportunity to someone who like didn't know where to like fit in the, or what to do in the community, and maybe talking with them they can say, okay, I want to collaborate in this, and maybe we can like reorganize them, and yeah, like try to empower
Yeah.
into doing something.
We're supposed to be helping people, not gatekeeping, right? And sometimes, when you're really being taken advantage of, you forget that part of it, and it starts to feel personal. But I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not personal when people are cred farming or like trying to get like double airdrops or whatever. It's not. They're not like personally attacking you. They're playing crypto, and they don't understand that maybe there's different levels of friends, and we don't want to be the kind of friend you treat like that.
The other thing is that Ostrom also said that graduated sanctions, one of the good thing of graduated sanctions is that when you see someone being punished from a behavior, you don't want to like do the same, because you know that you're gonna be punished. So maybe if we can identify some like very visible case, and maybe if we make it like, okay, these are the repercussions of people who do this kind of behavior, then people will feel and will like understand that they shouldn't do that. And that is something like that appears a lot in the Ostrom book, because she says like no one wants to be a sucker. And
the graduated sanctions, if I remember correctly, also allow for rehabilitation. Whereas if you just unceremoniously, and I'm not talking about big things like doxing Penguin, if you just unceremoniously boot somebody out of the community over something that maybe they didn't realize was as big of a deal, there's not the opportunity for rehabilitation, and that might also invite them to come in under a pseudonym or something, right? Because they feel like they can't come back as themselves. I mean, there's got to be situations like that.
Maybe if we make a rule like, okay, cred farmers are gonna be banned from the server for 2 days, I think that after those 2 days, it's just saying something, the people that comes back to the server feels like, okay, I shouldn't do that again.
Yeah, but I think that Ostrom, she mentioned that
Could
that.
force
Sorry, go
myself
ahead.
to be more. I feel like this position that's kind of come up over the past minute or so is incredibly unrealistic. I don't know what more you could do to shoot yourself in the foot. But setting up a system of punishment, especially exemplary punishment, to be exhibited in front of everyone, it's you're backing someone into a corner where they're either going to quit or lash out and then quit. And I feel that's really, really obvious.
Yeah, I don't think punishment is the right approach in this context, but Juan already knows that about me.
Yeah, I feel like guidance is the only way, unless you're just simply like forced to protect the environment from someone who has just completely slipped out of alignment or was not willing to come into alignment in the first place. But I really liked what you had said up to that point, Metaverde, about, like what kind of friends are we, and just sort of like reiterating that we are friends and that we want to grow together, and we're all kind of like trying to develop something. And if that person really isn't, yeah, maybe that's when they start getting the feels bad sort of thing, right? About what they're doing. And if not, well then yeah, but what kind of came up is referred to in Chinese as killing the chicken to scare the monkey. And yeah, it scares the monkey, but you got a dead chicken.
Yeah, I'm glad you jumped in there, bag holder, because I was sort of thinking along similar lines of that. Of, you know, really ideally, we're designing systems that have clear communication up front, that as possible. Obviously, there's inevitably situations where, despite our best efforts, people will just trample into a situation that we sort of thought we had carefully crafted. But yeah, I definitely, communication is so important, and I think the default in that I've observed in the world is that when people do things, somebody does something that people don't like, then they're likely to get some like what's it you know, just like not indirect indirect, or just like get like people don't communicate about problems. There's a lot of passive aggressive thing, you know, and I just, sorry, I'm fumbling over my words a little bit here, but I guess just the idea of really communicating with people when they're not meeting our needs.
Before it gets explosive.
Yeah, well, or even if it has got explosive.
No, that's true too. That's true too.
But one of the problems that Ostrom really that I resonated with in the book that she wrote with the Governing Commons was that in reality, the rules that we establish are never unambiguous. And so, you know, even if you wrote the rules, the rules themselves are interpreted by individuals in different ways. And so that opening of interpretation can justify any type of action by somebody who wants to, you know, who may be compliant with the rule, but undermine the intent of the actual rule. And so having that conflict resolution ability is extremely important to sustainable, you know, conflict management over time. Because if you have somebody, even if you say they dox somebody, it's a terrible thing to happen. But the key is to make sure that if that person who doxed interpreted that rule or mistakenly or unknowingly violated a code of conduct, that they're not immediately sanctioned without some form of access to a process such as the one that is being proposed within the working group, the Gravity working group. I think having that reduces a lot of liability associated with those types of rules. So, you know, and I don't think punishment is the right way to do it either, but there does have to be some type of punishment available. But if there is, like doxing and you get kicked out, there needs to be something to offer that person to say, hey, were you heard properly? Do you have a vehicle to actually raise your concerns and so on?
I totally agree, and I just to real quick add on that, I just want to say that yes, like in some cases, the answer will be to ban them from the server, but that there still should be some kind of communication so that they're not just like left in the dark. What's going on?
Yeah, I get it, and I resonate with what you say.
I also feel like, you know, like, of course, like the first step should be approach and talk with the people who have the conflict. And maybe I don't fully know about this great thing, but if someone is abusing the system, I mean, yeah, the first thing you do is you talk to him and you try, you know, like you tell, like Metaverde was saying, we're friends and we're building this for us and it's for all of us. And you hurting me when you're doing that. And yeah, you can tell him like 1, 2, 3, even 4 times. But if he is still doing something wrong, I feel like some sanctions that should, like, you know, like we at the end of the day we have rules, and we all should like if we live on a world without rules, I feel it would be wrong.
Yeah, I understand, and I also feel that the first approach should be always dialogue, and I feel that okay, like Metaverde is feeling annoyed by this because she has a lot of things to do, and she doesn't have time to talk with these people. But if we have Gravitons doing that, like Metaverde then could be like relieved from that responsibility and says, okay, the people, there is people who is in charge of like communicating and
Actually, having a system in place to talk to people that we suspect are cred farming would be, I don't think we even have that. And so there's kind of like a general assumption that people understand that that's what we're being a little salty about. And I think that goes to like a lack of communication. Yeah,
Yes.
just even having a line of communication to talk to people about that.
Usually, I try and use kind of like a soft touch approach, where I'll go through and I'll remove people's reactions, and kind of tell them, hey, that's not exactly cool. But one of the things I try and do for conflicts is never assume a perspective of someone,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's one of, like, I know especially for me, like, it's a really triggering, loaded sentence if someone assumes your perspective.
Yes.
So, because it instantly puts you in the position of that whatever they're saying is who you are, when obviously, everyone has their own side of the story. So I think positive enforcement rather than negative enforcement, and reinforcing the connections that we have rather than like directly punishing people. And specifically, like, if people are willing to go towards like doxing, like the thing that also followed with it were threats. So it's not the punishment sometimes has to be swift and immediate, because it's dangerous for that to get out into the community and for people to not feel that they're safe. And I think personal safety for the community comes above, like, conflict resolution.
I think it's so important to kind of take that into account, that people really attach their self-worth to what other people say about them, right? And what other people assume about them, and how they react to those things. Like I don't know, they there's just, yeah, there's so much emotion tied up in that. And the particular situation that Penguin's talking about, it escalated so quickly. Like there really wasn't any time for people to kind of trying to get in the middle and just like remind everyone, like what we're all here for. But each party felt attacked by the other, and like they felt completely justified in their actions, that it was like they were driven to those actions. And I mean, in hindsight, I I think if there had been someone there who knew them both, probably they could have been separated. But these arguments kind of happen in real time, and we're not like all in the office together, in a virtual way, okay, but like you're not just like watching the Discord constantly for every little thing that comes up. It's impossible.
Okay, I want to say that we're on the normal top of the hour, so if anyone has to feel free. If not, we can continue this discussion a little bit longer, because I like the way we're, and there is also a third point that we haven't discussed about. But I also feel that it's very important to have like this kind of code of conduct, or like rules and boundaries, because that is like the way we can say that one thing is like objective and not subjective. Because like um, if we are in a community, and maybe one community can have a different code of conduct than another one, you can say like, okay, maybe in that community that was allowed, but in this community that is not. So it's very important to have like this kind of rules and boundaries, and like guidelines for what can be like conflicts and what are the scale. I am going to paste here a document that we did once, that is like the scale of conflicts and graduated sanctions. And it's like how can we say when a conflict small scale, when we can say like a mid scale conflict, what is a big scale conflict, and what are some suggested actions that we think that can help to solve that problem. And I think that maybe each organization can have like its own scale of conflicts and its own like proposed actions. So scale of conflicts. So it's important to have like these documents that we can say like they are the source of what we say like mission, vision, values, and those go-to documents when you say, okay, you did me that, no, you did, and then there was like an inappropriate reaction. We can then map within that range, like if the reaction was bigger than the initial motivation of the conflict. So but I think that this is something that we need to continue working on, and I think that the root of everything is communication, and that just by like encouraging people to have these spaces of communication, I think that just that makes like allows for a lot of impact, and also a lot of people to like expressing what they feel. And the other thing that I wanted to say, just to close this, is that like for me the best application of graduated sanctions are sports. Like when you are playing football and you make a foul, you know that that you may receive a yellow card, and you know that if you have a yellow card and you continue making fouls, you're probably going to get a red card, and that is not like that is something that helps to like to control the behavior of sportsmen. And I think that somehow that's something that we could like do in the DAO ecosystem, but it's like really hard, and I haven't, and it's something that we can like keep working on. But it would be good to have like some and like when someone receive a yellow card playing a soccer game of like it's visible, and they recognize that it's not anything like against them, it's just like the reaction to their behavior or to their action. So I think that we are still like long to reach that, but that would be like the best, I don't know, image of graduated sanctions that I can like sports. Like you know that you can like in a sport you can like touch the other people, and there are things that are like permitted, but there are other things that if done, you know what are going to be the responses to that kind of action. But to pass to the third point, we're going to I wanted to review the content of the first Graviton training. Here we have like the content of the first Graviton training that were like 8 sessions. And here we had like Durgadas talking about nonviolent communication and spiral dynamics, theories of conflict, anti-fragility and conflict management, anti-fragile. We had a negotiation and alternative dispute resolution, best outcome to a negotiated agreement, practical cases, Ostrom's principles. So what I would like to do is, and we have the Graviton training slides. What I would like you to do, or invite you to do, is that if you have some time during the week, please like go over these slides really fast, and if you think that there is something that can be like updated, added, changed, that is not like the way you think that we can like put it into the training, if you think that we can make something better, please just like comment here, because it would be really good to start planning the next training. And we had 8 sessions, but I think
Hey,
that
are you
can
saying you want?
or 12. Yeah.
Sorry, are you saying you want us to comment directly on that slides, or where do you want us to leave comments?
Yeah, you can comment on the slides, but also I want to take some notes here. Like, what do you think that can be updated? What do you think that can stay? And what are some
Oh,
topics to
okay.
add? Like,
Gotcha.
I already did something, and I think that we can stay with nonviolent communication, spiral dynamics, theories of conflict, anti-fragility, but I think that we can add restorative justice circles that is very directed to what I was talking about Giveth. And I also like this about shadow work, that is like a concept that has been recently introduced to me. This
Oh
is
yeah,
like
that's good.
an NBC deep dive that you told me, Dan, that you could do that. So I think that these are some topics to add to what we already have.
Awesome.
Yeah, so just to not take too much, you can like go to the slide through the slides, see what we can change, like, yeah, make a little review, and you can write it on the slides or here in the document, and to see like, yeah, maybe that we have more content, we can have 10 sessions instead of 8. And to see, yeah, how
Yes.
if we can have other facilitators, and yeah, that's the idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned about the circles, the restored circles, and I think it would just be great to have eventually like to have like a set of like modules where the whole we can modularize the conflict management process where you're talking about integrating and working with all these different organizations where we could have the processes fully form where like if somebody's interested in, like you said, restorative circles, or somebody's interested in nonviolent communication, and then to even perhaps within those to have little modules and components that could be easily plug and play into different organizations. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Any of you have a topic that would like to add that you feel is not included in the content that we have right now, or something that can be updated? I think that it can be updated, the mission, vision, and values, because now we have the mission, vision, and values of the TEC, and before we didn't have them, so we should like update them. The code of conduct. Also, what are the participation in community management and benefit and requirements for Gravitons? There is this slide that I just copied and pasted it from another page that I want to like remake, and it's like, why are we training people, and like when does they gain experience, and like yeah, why are we certifying people in this? So we need to update this one. And also I want to work on the workshops. I felt that the first workshop we did was really good, but the second activity was not so good. The first one was the one that we did a negotiation Harvard cases, and the second one was an activity that I prepared, but I felt that the second activity wasn't so good and that the first activity was better. So maybe we could have like a workshop for nonviolent communication instead of like the second activity that we had, that was like like a role play, and also to update the gravity process deep dive, because right now we have like a more polished step by step that we didn't have before, and it would be really good to use this step by step that is more comprehensible and easy for people to follow.
I think I like everything that you're saying right here. I would just, since no one else is jumping up to like make any suggestions, I would just say that I think Durgadas, when he did I would like more a session. I feel like he did spiral dynamics and like I am the problem in a single session, where I'd like maybe those broken up into individual sessions.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I think.
is there
Yeah.
any way to incorporate the old cohort into this?
How?
What do you mean?
I'm not sure. Just like getting the existing Gravitons who are already trained to participate in these.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I know someone who is like very trained in restorative justice circles. So I think that we can have her to lead that session. And I think that Didan can lead some module related to NBC. But yeah, we when we start like dividing the content, then we will assign people to each like session, and just like for them to prepare. But I think that what it would be good if we can maybe have like like a new value proposition, so that we make it interesting for Gravitons that already are Gravitons to participate again into this training. So yeah, it would be really good to see what can we add new, so that people say, okay, I went to the first Graviton, but I want to go to the second one because that I didn't get to see.
I'm one of those people. I want in.
Thanks, Nate.
Hey guys, I gotta hop back over to metagame. It's been really good.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you.
Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming.
Keep in touch. Come to the meetings. You can.
Okay. That was what I had prepared for today, and I am really happy about your collaboration, your presence here, your participation. And if anyone wants to say something, we are wrapping up the call.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you, guys. Okay. Then see you later. Thanks for coming, and we'll see very soon in other calls. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.